Hello, Clairbourn family and guests. My name is Kennedy King, and I've attended Clairbourn since the second grade. In my time here, opportunity has knocked on my door many times. It's come in the form of projects, trips, and most importantly, people. Taught me something. However, with all these things available to you, you need to be careful not to overextend yourself. You know yourself the best, and you know your limits. It's no secret that I've evolved in my time here, and I know it was for the better. I figured out who I am. In 6th grade, I certainly didn't. I started off 6th grade immature, insecure, and over-emotional. During my middle school experience, there were a lot of times when I just broke down. My first thank you goes to Mrs. Corwin for always being there to calm me down and listen to me tearfully rant about my feelings. She has this sixth sense for whenever one of her students is stressed or upset. Thank you for everything. My second thank you is to my friends who can comfort me with merely a hug, a joke, or a smile. You guys provided my support system, which made me feel secure in whoever I wanted to be. Because of you guys, 2 of my greatest flaws were fixed in only a couple of years. I'm still a little immature, although I'd say my sense of humor, and me, I guess, has changed quite a bit. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. The truth is, you can change as many times as you want. Just make sure you have good people who will help you figure yourself out. Luckily for us, Clairbourn provides that. Not only do we have support from our families at home, we get support from the one we have here too. We're not related by blood, and we do fight occasionally, but in the end, we're connected through a lifetime of shared experiences and memories. That's a bond that's undeniable, and I hope we can sustain it after we leave Clairbourn. I'd like to take a moment to thank my family at home for all they've done for me. Dad, thanks for sharing your excitement for your passions and hobbies with me. Mama, thank you for being a teacher, a friend, a life coach, a doctor, and an example for me since I've been born. Nana, I love you so much. Thank you for putting up with me, teaching, or more accurately, trying to teach me how to cook, and always trying to make things better and easier for me. Madeline, thank you for inspiring me to be the best I can be every day. And Atticus, you can always make me smile. You make anything, even something as mundane as walking up to the front office to microwave food, sound like an adventure. Speaking of adventures, Costa Rica. Creating and figuring out who you are is an adventure on its own, but this particular trip changed me the most. Before that, I had spent years cultivating this reputation, terrified that the smallest thing I did could send it all crashing down. But the more you fail, and the more people who surround you don't give up or desert you when you do, you realize that you have it pretty good already. I learned that people can look past your flaws and just see you. Trips with your grade bring you closer together and add some more shared memories you can bond over later. And the third thing that really hammered in who I am is probably the projects that we do in the classroom. Each and every one of them taught me something. For example, in the 7th grade, Mrs. Barker had us do the French cuisine project. It was ridiculously fun, and I'll always remember it as a project where I learned how to cut an onion properly. I was telling the class how I almost cut off my fingers because I couldn't see through my tears as I was cutting the onions, when Mrs. Barker stopped everything and gave us very detailed instructions on the proper technique. Root last, I still remember her. Another one of my favorite projects was when I got the chance to write the Thanksgiving chorale with Izzy and Mrs. Barker. It was awesome working with them, and honestly, one of the highlights of my 7th grade year. My favorite project, however, was our Shakespeare play. It was so fun from beginning to end. It starts in Mrs. Taylor's room with reading the script of the Shakespeare play, so we really understand the meaning of the text and all the dirty jokes Shakespeare sticks in there. Whenever the desks are in the sort of amphitheater form in the English classroom, I get really happy, because then I know it's officially Shakespeare season. Next comes casting, then weeks of rehearsal until the actual play. Mr. and Mrs. Barker, I loved going to rehearsal. And to everyone in cast, thank you too. It was an honor to work with you. Finally, thank you to all my teachers. Mrs. Barker, you're one of the coolest people I've ever met. You speak so many languages. You're a quadruple threat. You played a load of instruments, and you're scary as heck. Guys, a word of advice, never miss rehearsal. Mrs. Corwin, thank you for being the best example of what people should be like for your students. You taught us not only history and current events, but also taught us how to be good human beings and citizens. I want to be like you when I'm older. Mrs. Berge, although I never really liked math as a subject, I liked you, so thank you for making math have fun. Mrs. Kibbe, thank you for always being there with a science joke or video, no matter how the day went. Mrs. DeVasto, thank you for encouraging me to try new sports and for making your cooking elective tons of fun. Mrs. Taylor, you've taught us a million life skills, from how to write a really good essay to analyzing a movie and comparing it to the book, or how to look for a deeper meaning and symbolism in quotes and in the storyline. The teachers I've had from 2nd to 5th grade impacted me too, and thank you for making my early years at Clairbourn awesome. Thank you to Mrs. Mines, who mans the library and can always give me a good recommendation and fangirl with me over some of our favorites. Thank you to Mrs. Cogswell, who is always there to greet us with a smile as we end and start our day at school. And lastly, thank you to all my friends who taught me who I am and supported me, and for sharing the last 7 years with me. Thank you for all the fun creativity, interesting conversations, refreshing optimism, humor, sage advice, wisdom, amusing quips, and all the hugs. In the words of Thomas Zatz, people often say that this or that person has not yet found himself. But the self is not something one finds, it's something one creates. Thank you, class of 2019, for helping me create who I am. I'll miss you.